and glad you are as well, for the second half of tonight's Snarl from Salisbury, Maryland. And let's not hype the second half. Let's just look at the schedule.
We start with a champions duel between Gary Galaxy and Tibor Balescu. Non-title tag action with Coco Beware and Junkyard Dog against the Psychedelics. And the women's world tag titles on the line in the main event, with American Powers defending the titles against the Angels of Anarchy. No hype required. The second half checks out as golden.
Okay, while Tex Lynch gets ready for the call of the action, let's get set for the second half opening match, a non-title champions duel between Cruiserweight champ Gary Galaxy and Snarl TV champ the Hungarian Hurricane Tibor Balescu. Just wowzers, we're starting off hot tonight, fellas.
Our second half opening contest, a non-title champions duel, set for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first, accompanied by Sylvia Strong, from Chesapeake, Virginia, weighing 188 pounds, the RWL Cruiserweight champion, the prototype, Gary Galaxy.
The prototype Double G has been hotter than plutonium in your palm since regaining the Cruiserweight title. Gary is always good, but when he's sporting championship gold, he just becomes even greater. The best of what Gary Galaxy is just shines through when he's got himself a title. Plus, now he's got the whole family atmosphere fostered by Sylvia Strong and everyone in her stable. Gary's part of that Stronghold family now.
When you're a jet all the way from your first cigarette. Yeah, anyway. Gary Galaxy, Cruiserweight champion, set to face Tibor Balescu.
Balescu to the rescue.
His opponent, accompanied by light heavyweight champion Sir Reggie Smythe, from Budapest, Hungary, weighing 198 pounds, the RWL Sn Rl television champion, the Hungarian Hurricane, Tibor Balescu.
Sir Reggie sporting a bit of a swagger after his win over Ricochet in the first hour, and hoping his Team Euro partner Tibor Balescu is gonna have himself a winning night. But I can tell you it's not gonna be a cakewalk for the Hungarian Hurricane. Against a Stronghold champion, Gary sat out Global War, so he's going into this match nice and fresh, and free of any title pressures in this championship duel.
Balescu has had a whole new attitude since snagging the Snarl TV belt at Coliseum Games in February, and so far, he's taken on anybody willing, and he's coming off his title defense against the $1 Million Man at Global War. And that mammoth win over Warlord Santos the week before that. The Hungarian Hurricane is also way popular with the fans as well. He may not be the best Snarl TV champ yet, but Balescu is making a case for the most popular one.
Yeah, he is pretty popular. Tom Kanemaru rings the bell. Gary Galaxy charges. Whoa, beautiful whirling DDT. Gary Galaxy misses with the dropkick. Balescu nails him with the right. Whips Gary to the ropes. Hard. Oh, what a shot. Took down Gary Galaxy like a chopped down tree. Tibor Balescu has him up, sets him up for the powerbomb and nails it. Down goes Gary Galaxy. There's a big elbow across the chest from Tibor Balescu. The Hungarian Hurricane follows it up with a stomp. Look at this. Deadlift slant, just slammed it halfway across town. The Hungarian Hurricane rounds up Gary Galaxy. Gary counters with some shots. Balescu counters again. He's got him up. Gary Galaxy, quick with the dodge right there. Rebounds off the ropes. Misses with the flying kick. Tibor Balescu hung up on the ropes. Gary Galaxy moves in. Pitches Balescu to the outside. Tibor Balescu just getting to his feet. Here goes Gary Galaxy. Rebound off the ropes, through the ropes, and boom! Ass over tea kettle. Down goes the Hungarian Hurricane. High-risk maneuver paying off with dividends for Gary Galaxy. Snap suplex from the prototype, followed up with a stomp. The Hungarian Hurricane on the receiving end of the business here from the Cruiserweight champion. Gary drives a knee into the head of Balescu. Tibor Balescu rounded up. The referee counting. Whoa! Quick counter from Balescu, followed up with a basement dropkick to the back of Gary Galaxy. Gary counters with a kick to the midsection, takes down Bolescu. Bolescu rounded up again. Bolescu counters with a knee. Rolls Gary Galaxy back inside the ring. Tibor Bolescu taking a little breath and doing a little showboating for the fans. Sir Reggie Smythe's cheering on his tag team partner. Here comes Bolescu. Clothesline takes him right back out onto the floor again. Gary Galaxy working up his side of the building. And he's got a big side of the building too. Here comes Tibor Bolescu again. They lock up. Bolescu whips him to the far corner. A slap. Rolls him out. Rebounds off the ropes and a basement drop kick to the side of the head of Gary Galaxy. Sylvia Strong watching the Cruiserweight champion work here. Tibor Bolescu has him all the way up. And yeah, there's the power of Tibor Bolescu. There's that long stalling vertical suplex that takes an eon to complete. Boom! There it is. Gary Galaxy in big trouble here. Tibor Bolescu covers one, but just the one. Gary Galaxy powering out of the pin. Bolescu misses with the jumping neckbreaker. Gary Galaxy bobbing and weaving here. Hard right. Misses with the chop. Tibor Bolescu rounds him up over the shoulder into the fireman's carry. Head first into the turnbuckle goes Gary Galaxy into the seated position in the far corner. Bolescu putting the boots to the prototype. Wow. Man, Gary Galaxy rolls out of the corner. Bolescu with a stomp to the shoulder. Swing and a miss with the other stomp. Knee to the midsection of Gary Galaxy. Gary escorted to the ropes by Bolescu. Bolescu whips him to the ropes. Misses with the grapple. Rounds him up for a bear hug. Gary Galaxy says, no you don't. Gary with a snap mirror. A rebound off the ropes. And a move. Misses with the soccer kick. Bolescu with another clothesline takes Gary Galaxy down to the canvas. The Hungarian Hurricane tags him with a hard right. Gary Galaxy counters his way out of the corner. And whoa, beautiful slam from the prototype. Bolescu with a slap across the face of Gary Galaxy. Has him up, sidewalk slam from Tibor Bolescu. A stomp to the midsection. The Snarl TV champion with another gut wrench slam to Gary Galaxy. Tibor Bolescu dragging Gary Galaxy as close to center ring as he can get him, and he is stalking the prototype. Gary Galaxy in trouble here. Oh, here we go. Oh, look at this. Beautiful sunset flip, and here's a pin. One. Oh, man, that would have been cool if he'd pulled it off. Gary Galaxy showing off some skill there. Hard right to Bolescu. Gary Galaxy sets him up. Whoa, fisherman. Nicely done. Slams Bolescu hard. Here's a cover. One, two, but no. The Hungarian Hurricane powering out of the pin. Gary Galaxy with a head scissor. A series of wraps on the noggin of Tibor Bolescu. Rebound off the middle rope. Flying kick takes Bolescu down center ring and busts him open too. Bolescu with a hard right. Oh, this one just got personal. Whip to the ropes. Oh, he's got him all the way up again. Gary Galaxy slammed down hard. Bolescu covers. One, two. Near fall. Another 2 count. Gary Galaxy back up on his feet again. Rounds up Bolescu. Grabs both knees into the back of the Hungarian Hurricane. The prototype rounds up Bolescu. Bolescu counters with a knee. Rounds him up into a one-arm slam. Down goes Gary Galaxy right into the heart of the logo. Bolescu stalks Gary Galaxy again. Again, the military press slam. And here's another cover, but too close to the ropes. Tom Canamora says he's got to start all over again. Gary Galaxy takes down Bolescu. Goes for the cover. One, two. Another near fall. This one's, what a champion's duel we got going here. Gary Galaxy rounds up Bolescu. A chop, a kick, another kick, a forearm. Bolescu reeling. Catches a kick. Gary Galaxy going for the cover again. One, two, and another near fall. Bolescu powering out of the pin. Gary Galaxy cannot believe it. Wow. Gary with a kick to the back of Tibor Bolescu, followed up with a stomp to the midsection. Galaxy misses with the stomp. Bolescu countered again, taken right back down. Another stomp from Gary Galaxy. Bolescu winds him up, slams him face first into the canvas. The Hungarian Hurricane with another deadlift military press on Gary Galaxy. And down he goes, slam face first into the canvas. The Hungarian Hurricane rounds up Gary Galaxy again, locks him up, sets him up over the shoulders, and floss water. Down goes Gary. Sir Reggie Smith cheering on the Hungarian Hurricane here. Bolescu has him up in the front cradle, fall away slam from Tibor Bolescu. Gary Galaxy counters, gets back up on his feet. Locks up Bolescu, kick to the midsection, sets up for the DDT, but oh man, Tibor Bolescu backs him off. Rounds him up, hard Irish whip to the ropes. Again, Bolescu misses the grapple. Gary Galaxy escorting Bolescu to the ropes. Tibor Bolescu pitches him over the top rope and out onto the floor. The Hungarian Hurricane taking himself a little siesta right there. Takes himself to the outside. Rounds up. Gary Galaxy rounds him up over the shoulders with bad intentions right into the barricade. Down goes Tibor Bolescu. Gary Galaxy drives a knee into the arm. The referee counting. Bolescu back up on his feet. Gary Galaxy takes him right back down to the mats again. Another stomp. Sir Reggie Smith giving these guys a wide berth. Gary Galaxy with an arm breaker on Bolescu. Rounds Bolescu up, rolls him back inside the ring. Gary Galaxy takes himself back inside. Bolescu laid out center ring. Rounded up, knee to the skull. Followed up with a stomp. Whoa, look at this quick counter. And a quick cover. 1, 2, 3. Shut up. Tibor Bolescu pulling off a quick upset here over Sir Reggie Smith. Wow.
The time, 9 minutes and 11 seconds. Your winner by pinfall, Tibor Bolescu.
It's another big-time W for Bolescu, who's been on a hot streak since taking down Warlord Santos a few weeks ago. And the guy's just been a total freight train ever since. Gary Galaxy gave him a good run, but man, it was not good enough.
And so it's a pair of singles wins for both members of Team Euro. Great night for Reggie and Tibor. Up next, the Snarl Tag Team Champion Psychedelics after the break.
Alright folks, coming up next, non-title tag team action, the Birdman, Coco Beware, and the Junkyard Dog. In non-title competition, going up against the Freak and the Wild Thing, Wayne Take, the Snarl Tag Team Champions, the Psychedelics.
The following non-title tag team contest is set for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first from Union City, Tennessee, weighing 228 pounds, the Birdman, Coco Beware.
The Birdman, Coco Beware, and the JYD joining forces again. And it's not the first time. Coco and Junkyard Dog, a very successful partnership in their previous matches. But tonight, facing the Psychedelics in non-title competition. How do you guys like their odds against the Freak and the Wild Thing?
There's always possibilities, Wally, but you gotta consider. Psychedelics have been hot. Seen what they did at Global War.
His tag team partner, from Atlanta, Georgia, weighing 275 pounds, the Junkyard Dog.
Entirely possible. The Psychedelics are great, sure, but obviously not infallible. They've dropped matches to the doctors, and obviously to Wilcox and Hollywood. So there's no reason Coco and Junkyard Dog couldn't slip a win past them. They've got a 50-50 chance in my book.
That's fair, GB, but I've got it 60-40 in favor of the Psychedelics. They're the champs, you know.
I'm making it 50-50 in favor of the Freak and Wild Thing. They're the champs. They're part of the stronghold, and they've been on a roll lately. Nothing but love for Coco and JYD, but I'm just being real.
Their opponents, accompanied by Sylvia Strong, at a combined weight of 477 pounds, from Paducah, Kentucky, the Freak, and from Staten Island, New York, Wild Thing, Wayne take the Rwl Sn Rl Tag Team Champions, the Psycho-Del-Lick.
Still the Snarl Tag Team Champs. After their match against Wild Fortune at Global War, the Freak and Wild Thing still standing immovable at the top of the mountain. And kicking back with this non-title scrap with Coco Beware and Junkyard Dog, which is another reason I'm favoring the Tag Team Champs, who are going to perform exactly like it was a title match, same as they do every match. The Psychodelics won't drop their guard because the titles aren't on the line.
That's something Sylvia Strong seems to instill in all her teams. All right, it's going to be the Birdman and the Freak starting us off here. Referee Tom Canamora rings the bell. Here we go. They lock up. Coco catches some elbows from the Freak. Coco backs off. The Freak sets him up. Shot to the midsection. Oh, man. Guillotine leg drop. For Coco Beware. The Freak moving in relentlessly. Spins Coco around with a hard right. Has him up. Inverted fireman's carry. Slams him right back down. Well, now, look at this. As usual, going after everybody. The Freak going after Junkyard Dog. Beats to the bow grand. 10 punches to the chest for JYD. Coco Beware just looking on helplessly. Down goes Junkyard Dog. The Freak whipped into the far corner. Coco Beware misses with the knees. The Freak jabs him. Well, here we go off the middle rope. Misses with the elbow. Coco Beware going to capitalize on the mistake. The Birdman slammed down to the canvas by the Freak. The Freak goes for the cover right away. One. Just one. Yeah, you're not going to get an early thing. Quick pins just never work, man. The Freak. His wrist clutch elbows to Coco Beware. Down he goes. The Birdman rounded up by his neck and pitched halfway across town. The Freak decides to beat it out of town. Here comes Wild Thing Wayne Tague. Coco Beware catches a clothesline from the Wild Thing. A stomp to the back. Coco counters, back on his feet, locks up the Wild Thing. Whips him to the ropes. Knee to the midsection. Wild Thing back up on his feet. Whoa, ducks the punch, but doesn't dodge the kick from Coco Beware. The Birdman deciding where he's going to go next. He's got the Wild Thing right where he wants him. Has him up. Spinning neckbreaker from the Birdman. Coco Beware taking control of things here. Does a knee into the arm of Wild Thing Wayne Tague. Wild Thing back up on his feet. Coco Beware right there to pick up the pieces. Slams his head into the turnbuckle. Here comes the Junkyard Dog. And here comes a little bit of a double team here. A couple of knees to the midsection. Coco and Junkyard Dog with a double suplex on Wild Thing Wayne Tague. Clubbing overhand right from Junkyard Dog. Still got to be smarting from them beats of the Bodran from the Freak. Suplex to Wild Thing from Junkyard Dog. Junkyard steps out. Here comes Coco. The Wild Thing waiting for him. Running DDT. Down goes Coco Beware. Coco counters. Takes down Wild Thing Wayne Tague with a little bit of a flourish there. Nicely done. Wild Thing misses. Coco whips him to the ropes, has him up, lets gravity do the rest, slams him down, goes for the cover. But the Freak right there to break up the pin before even a one count. Coco Beware has to start all over again. Wild Thing counters. Coco counters. They lock up again. Whoa, swing and a miss from the Wild Thing and winds up in an atomic drop from Coco Beware. Coco rounds up the Wild Thing again. Another vertical suplex for Wayne Tague. Coco. Oh, gonna go outside, but here comes the Freak. He charges. Here comes the Junkyard Dog. The Freak and the JYD mixing it up here. The Freak counters. Takes down Junkyard Dog. Inverted DDT. Takes down Coco Beware too. The Freak just battling everybody. Whip to the ropes. Junkyard Dog takes him down with an elbow. JYD rounds up the Freak. Pitches him towards the corner. Junkyard Dog with an arm snap on the Freak. Coco Beware is laid out on the outside. Junkyard Dog takes himself all the way up to the top. Here's a beautiful crossbody from JYD. Here's a cover. 1, 2. Just a 2. First real near fall of the match so far. Junkyard Dog has to start all over again. Decides to turn it over to Coco Beware on the tag. Coco charges. Takes down the Freak. Again with that little fancy flair. Only the Birdman does it like that. Knee to the head. Followed up with a stomp to the back. Coco Beware turns it over to Junkyard Dog. The team working real efficiently. Running boot to the face. Down goes the Freak. The Freak counter slams Junkyard Dog down to the canvas. Rounds him up. They lock up. Junkyard Dog with a knee to the midsection. He's got the Freak up. Mumbo jumbo. Little chop block takes down Junkyard Dog. They lock up again. JYD whip to the far corner. Here comes the Freak. Junkyard Dog counters. A splash takes the Freak down to the canvas face first. Junkyard Dog rounds him up. Has him up, and here we go. Running power slam from the Junkyard Dog. Here's a cover 2-1, but the Wild Thing Wayne take right there to break it up. Well, this one was going to be a ride, and we knew it. Junkyard Dog with a little ditty bopping over here, all the fancy stuff, and misses with the leg drop. Wow, that was disappointing. Knee to the midsection for the Freak. The Freak goes up over the shoulders, delivers a couple of elbows to the head of the Junkyard Dog, locks him up, slams him down. The Freak quickly taking things away here from the Junkyard Dog. JYD counters with elbows to the midsection. Misses with the running boot that time. The Freak misses with the headbutt. The Freak whip to the rope. Tilt to whirl backbreaker from Junkyard Dog. And here comes Coco Beware. The Freak trying to find his way out of town to tag the Wild Thing. Coco Beware stops to showboat a little bit. Here comes the Wild Thing. It might be a costly mistake. Whoa, nice rollout from Coco Beware. Kick to the midsection for the Wild Thing. He's got him up and knee to the big time knee to the midsection. The Birdman in control of the Wild Thing at the moment. Sets him up. Oh man, here's the stretching the legs, the knees. The Wild Thing Wayne take. Coco Beware sets it up. Whoa, what a left. Down goes Wild Thing. Slow getting back to his feet. Junkyard Dog tagged in. A series of forearms from the Wild Thing. Locks up Junkyard Dog. Takes him to the ropes. Junkyard Dog pitched to the ropes. Wild Thing misses. Goes behind on Junkyard Dog again. Hard shot to the back of the head. Down goes JYD. Here comes the Freak on the tag. The Freak moving in on a helpless Junkyard Dog. Wait a minute, did I say helpless? Enziguri from JYD. JYD going after Wild Thing too. Again, missing with the headbutt. The Freak a little too quick. Junkyard Dog rounds him up. Clubbing overhand right takes the Freak down to one knee. Turns his attention to Wild Thing Wayne Tay. Brings him into the ring the hard way. Going after Wild Thing. Overhand right. Junkyard Dog delivers a shot to the Freak. The Freak takes him down. Wow, what a match. The Freak countered by JYD. The Freak counters JYD with a series of kicks to the leg. The Freak locks him up again. Headlock punch. Clubbing overhand right. And another Sylvia Strong cheering on the Freak here. Down goes JYD. The Freak rolls him over. Goes for the cover. One with Coco Beware. Right there to save the match for his team. What a ride this match has been. Titles aren't even on the line or anything. The Freak going after Coco. Wild Thing rolls JYD back inside the ring. The Freak decides to opt out, turns it over The Wild Thing, Wayne Tate. Junkyard Dog moves in. Woohoo! Quick counter from the Wild Thing. Inverted DDT. Head first down goes the Junkyard Dog. Wild Thing, Wayne Tate. Clubbing overhand right takes down JYD again. A jumping elbow across the back, right between the shoulder blades. Wild Thing, Wayne Tate. Stalking the Wild Thing here. Has him set up. Look at this right here. Oh, man, beautiful inverted slam. The Wild Thing covers, hooks the leg. Man, Coco Beware like lightning. See how quick he went there? Just as quick. The Freak puts him out on the outside. Wild Thing, Wayne Tate. DDT on the Junkyard Dog. The Freak returning to his tag corner. And again, the Wild Thing, Wayne Tate, stalking the Junkyard Dog. Lines up the arm. Has it set up, locked in, but Junkyard Dog says, no, you don't. Series of shots to the gut. Running DDT. Wild Thing, Wayne Tate finally taken down by the Junkyard Dog. Wild Thing dodges, tags him with the right. Junkyard Dog counters again. Has Wild Thing up over the shoulder, running power slam down. He goes. Here's a cover from JYD. 1, 2. Another near fall. Man, Junkyard Dog getting a little bit frustrated here. Thought he had it. Wild Thing brought back to his feet by Junkyard Dog. JYD's got him up again, but the Wild Thing counters again with another inverted DDT. But here comes Coco Beware on the hot tag. This should be good. They lock up, kick to the midsection from the Wild Thing. Locks up Coco Beware. Whips him to the ropes. Head-on collision with no result. Wild Thing has Coco upside suplex. Coco Beware getting back to his feet. The Wild Thing right there. Locks him up. Whips Coco to the far corner. Here comes the charge. Whoa! Big time flying fist. Rebound off the ropes and a spear. Down goes Coco Beware. Here goes a cover. 1, 2. Again. Another near fall. And a really long battle between these two teams, man. Wow. The Freak in on the tag. Goes after Junkyard Dog. Catches the knee. Coco Beware showboating on the apron. And he just learned why we don't do that. The Freak goes after Junkyard Dog. Doesn't get him. Goes after him again. Tags him with a hard right hand. Junkyard Dog counters. As the Gurry takes Junkyard Dog down to the floor. Here comes Coco Beware. The Freak whips him to the far corner. Coco Beware counters. Swings and misses. Catches the kick to the midsection. The Freak taking all the way up for the long suplex, but no. The Freak counters with a chop block to the leg of Coco Beware. Swings and misses with the fist. Coco Beware rounds up the Freak, scoop slams him. Coco rounds up the Freak again. Has him up, another vertical suplex from the Birdman. Going for the cover. 1, 2. Wild Thing, Wayne Tate there to make the save, but there goes Tom Canamora. He got stunned good like a clubbed fish. Look at this. Straight jacket neckbreaker from Wild Thing, Wayne Tate. The referee is out to lunch. The Freak countered by Coco Beware. Coco backing it on out. Here comes Junkyard Dog. Referee Tom Canamora still taking siesta. Oh, here we go. He's back now. Junkyard Dog running power slam with a cover. Wild Thing, Wayne Tate breaks up the pin again. Junkyard Dog moving in on the Freak. The Freak making his way to a standing position on the apron. Here comes Junkyard Dog's shoulder. Takes him down to the floor. Now Junkyard Dog turns his attention to Wild Thing. Wayne Tate brings him in the hard way. JYD with a headbutt to the Wild Thing. The Freak catches the knee from Junkyard Dog. JYD whips the Freak to the ropes. Head-on collision with no result. The Freak with a jab, a kick, another, a chop, a forearm. Down goes Junkyard Dog. Now. The Freak on a series of headbutts right to the skull of the Junkyard Dog. The Freak rounds him up again. Has him up, slams him right back down, follows it up with a stomp. The Freak in control of things here. The Psychedelics in control of the match as a whole at the present time. The Freak steps out. Here it comes. Wild Thing Wayne Teague. Man, this match has run long. JYD counters with the right. Running DDT to the Wild Thing. Head first down he goes. He rolls out for a quick reset. Here comes Junkyard Dog. Not going to cut him a break. Into the barricade goes the Junkyard Dog. Wild Thing Wayne Teague countered. JYD locks him up. Gloving overhand right. Takes Wild Thing down to one knee. Wow, oh man. Junkyard Dog into the ring post down. 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 It's into the ring post time with the title on the line. You can play it anytime, even if you're 99. Yeah, we gave you the long version today. I'm sorry. All right, Wild Thing Wayne Teague back in the ring here. Coco Beware rebounds off the middle rope. Whoa, spinning DDT. Takes a Wild Thing down. Junkyard Dog back in on the tag. Wild Thing rounded up. Another running power slam from the Junkyard Dog, and here's another cover one with the Freak right there to break up the pin. Coco Beware catches the kick from the Freak. Running boot takes the Freak down to the canvas. Junkyard Dog turns his attention to the Freak here. Vertical suplex. Wild Thing Wayne Teague moves in, tags Junkyard Dog with the right, goes behind, sets him up. There's that beautiful inverted slam again from the Wild Thing. Rolls over. JYD goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3, and finally this match comes to an end with the Psychedelics picking up the pinfall win. Let's get the official time from Patricia Saunders.
The time 15 minutes and 26 seconds. Your winners by pinfall, the Psychedelic.
Honestly, the Freak and Wild Thing haven't got an off switch. Known for playing the long game, the Psychedelics pull off another endurance battle against Coco Beware and Junkyard Dog, outlasting their opponents and picking up the 3-count pinfall. And again, demonstrating the extraordinary guidance of Sylvia Strong. Just, well, I thought we were heading for a draw.
Ladies World Tag Title main event. When we come back in just a minute.
Hey there, my name's Wendy O, Hardcore, and these are my blood sisters, Heather and Nikki Judas Hardcore, and we are the Angels of Anarchy.
The Angels of Anarchy is bitches!
Here comes the Angels of Anarchy. The Hardcore Sisterhood is ready to rock.
If you don't know who we are, you've been under a rock, or you got TikTok brain.
You got TikTok brain, you can see it!
It's another win for the AOA.
Wendy Hardcore shoves her away. Goes behind on Brooklyn. German suplex.
We're the longest surviving ladies tag trio in all of our WAL, and for 15 years, we've met every challenge they've thrown at us.
Wendy tags her with a hard right.
Well, the gals from Next Gen can't stand the Angels of Anarchy.
A lot of ladies teams come through here, and the AOA has fought them all. The Click, Team Nuclear, the Dream Girls, Next Gen, the Texan Ladies, American Powers, Crystal Fox Limited, Vicious and Delicious, even Les Femmes Fatales. The Angels of Anarchy have met them all.
Les Femmes Fatales getting ready to mix it up with the AOA.
Yikes on trikes. What a shot from Heather Hardcore.
And we like to get asses!
And while maybe we don't always win, we don't always expect to, and we take our ass beatings quiet, and we plot and scheme for the next time. Plain and simple. Babies.
Nikki Judas Hardcore with Mimi Emerson against the ropes, driving a knee into the back of Mimi Emerson.
Well, finally the front office monkeys can't hide us no more. Front office politics be damned. At long freaking last, we've got a shot at the Women's World Tag Champions, American Powers.
Here's the double team. Just unbelievable. Down goes Brooklyn Von Brown.
A team we've met before, but never for the titles.
Wendy Hardcore with a top rope superplex on Brooklyn Von Brown.
The control.
Well, all that, always a bridesmaid. Never a bride bullcrap ends tonight.
And so Les Femmes Fatale prevailing over the Angels of Anarchy this evening.
Sorry, ladies, you run a great game, but it's time for a little change at the top.
Well, the AOA don't always win, but they damn sure won this time.
A lot of fans believe the Angels of Anarchy someday will reach for the brass ring and pull back championship gold. The only question being, when will that day be?
And it's time for a little, actually, a whole lot of anarchy.
Alright, gang, it is main event time. The RWL Women's World Tag Team Championships on the line. Patty Powers and Liberty Bell Danielle defending the titles against Wendy Hardcore and Nikki Judas Hardcore of the Angels of Anarchy.
The trio, but for this match, it'll be Wendy and Nikki Judas against Patty and Danielle. I'm surprised they didn't run with Heather Hardcore, quite possibly the most aggressive of the three hardcore blood sisters. But in any case, the Angels of Anarchy have never had a title shot against a PN. They've never won any matches, single or tag, against Patty Powers or Danielle Heath Cope. It's just a fact of life, you guys. I'm no fan of the Angels with their filthy mouths and bad attitudes, and I respect what they've done in our WL, but it seems like American Powers just has the numbers of the Angels of Anarchy. I'm looking at Patty and Danielle retaining the titles, and you just know the fans are right there with me.
Therefore, gentlemen, it is safe to say ain't none of us here want to see the Angels of Anarchy walk away with the Women's World Tag Team titles here tonight. Everybody's favorite American Powers, even with their slight disadvantage. I mean, Patty and Danielle both coming off successful single title wins. They're doing their first tag team match together tonight. And even at 99%, they're working a hell of a lot better than the Angels of Anarchy. And Angels of Anarchy have yet to even win a match against American Powers, man.
Powerhouse Patty and the Liberty Bell, bringing the noise level in this place to career shortening for your hearing. The Triple Crown, Women's World Tag Team Champions, back in tandem after successful singles title defenses for both, with Patty fending off Brenda Blair for the Women's Gulf Coast belt, and Liberty Bell Danielle retaining the Snarl Women's Championship against Georgia Washington. And Danielle looks to be in great shape after a month away. They've clearly got the Angels of Anarchy figured out. So, while you can't rule out the chance of an upset, that chance looks slim at best for Wendy and Nikki Judas Hardcore.
Their smartest strategy would be to wrap this one up as quickly as possible, so as not to allow for any possible shifts in momentum that might favor the Angels. But again, American Power seems to have the Angels pretty well scouted.
Tonight's Snarl main event, set for one fall with a 20-minute time limit, is for the RWL Women's World Tag Team Championship. The challengers, accompanied by Heather Hardcore from Glen Falls, New York, Wendy O Hardcore, and from Salt Lake City, Utah, Nikki Judas Hardcore, the Angels of Anarchy. Their opponents, from Tampa, Florida, Powerhouse Patty Powers, and from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, All-American Liberty Bell Danielle Heathcote. They are Women's Triple Crown Champions and the Women's World Tag Team Champions, American Powers.
All right, AP, going into this match with everybody on their side, facing opponents they can understand, only this time with the Women's World Tag titles, plus a lot more hanging in the balance.
You definitely got that right. Okay, Walt Rothburn rings the bell. Off we go. Patty and Nikki Judas lock up. Nikki Judas up over the shoulder of Patty Powers, slammed right back down to the canvas. Powerhouse Patty rounds up Nikki Judas. Nikki Hardcore being escorted to American Power's corner. Head first into the turnbuckle goes Nikki. Patty's got her up, hangs her up in the tree of woe right out the gate. Wow, okay. Patty Powers putting the boot to the throat of Nikki Judas Hardcore. Patty taking it. Ooh, look at this. Nikki Judas Hardcore rolling out of the way of the knee. Delivers a kick to the midsection of Patty Powers. Patty counters with a knee to the midsection of her own. Nikki Judas Hardcore takes another shot from Patty Powers. Patty's got her up over the shoulder again. And she's going to slam her right back down again. Here comes Liberty Bell Danielle. Look at that Legion of Liberty t-shirt. Danielle all the way up on the middle rope here. Nikki Judas Hardcore getting to her feet. Here we go, double axe handle across the back. Rolling elbow misses the mark. Nikki Judas Hardcore back up on her feet. Locks up Danielle, whips her to the far corner. Liberty Bell Danielle caught up, look at this. Deadly dog. And here's a cover, 1, 2. Wow, Nikki Judas Hardcore surprising Danielle with that deadly dog in the corner. Headlock takedown followed up with an elbow to the arm from Nikki Judas Hardcore. Nikki steps out. Here comes Wendy O Hardcore. Liberty Bell Danielle catches a right, another, a third, a slap across the face that backs her up against the ropes. She counters. There's a double shot to the midsection to Wendy. One arm suplex. Rolling Wendy over, ass over tea kettle. Here comes Powerhouse Patty again on the tag. Wendy O Hardcore back up on her feet. Delivers a kick, a shot, a knee to the skull. Goes behind on Patty Powers. Hard shot to the back. Whips her to the ropes. Patty Powers puts on the brakes. Whips Wendy Hardcore to the corner. Here comes Patty. Powerhouse Patty with elbows to the side of the skull of Wendy Hardcore. Down goes Wendy. Wendy Hardcore catching the boots from Powerhouse Patty. Patty with a deadlift military press on Wendy Hardcore. Wendy way in the middle of the air. Boom, down she goes. Dropped like a stone. Powerhouse Patty locking in a heel hook stretch center ring on Wendy Hardcore. Again, this is our main event. The Women's World Tag Team titles on the line here. Patty Powers steps out. Here comes Liberty Bell Danielle Heathcote on the tag. Wendy Hardcore laid out center ring. Liberty Bell with a series of kicks and stomps to Wendy Hardcore, now stretching the arm of Wendy. Danielle. Flip over neck whip on Wendy Hardcore. Danielle tags out. Here comes Patty Powers again. American Powers very efficient with the tagging. Tag early, tag often. And that's what they do. Patty Powers misses with the stomp. Wendy back up on her feet, nails her with a drop kick. Wendy Hardcore moves in, kick to the midsection, a right, another kick, and a right that takes Patty Powers down to the mat. Wendy, oh Hardcore, rounds up Patty. Patty, countering with elbows, backs off Wendy. Wendy Hardcore catches a right and a left, another left, and whoa, little headbutt right to the dome of Wendy Hardcore. Powerhouse Patty rounds her up. There's a discus punch right out of the old Von Erich playbook. And here comes Liberty Bell Danielle Heathcote again. Wendy Hardcore starting to take quite a bit of punishment at the hands of American Powers. Danielle getting ready to go high risk here. Big diving elbow right across the chest of Wendy Hardcore. Followed up with a stomp. Danielle moves in, puts in the armbar. Possible submission here. Wendy Hardcore being checked on by referee Walt Rothburn. Here comes Nikki Judas Hardcore to make the save. But no need. Wendy Hardcore has things in control here. Danielle goes after Nikki. Whips her to the outside. Wendy Hardcore goes behind. Man, hangman's neckbreaker. Hard overhand right from Wendy Hardcore. And now yanking an arm. Trying to yank it out of the socket and snaps it. Wendy Hardcore putting the boots to Liberty Bell Danielle Heathcote. Danielle still sore from the Hell in a Cell match a month ago in Philadelphia with Jody Warwick. Wendy Hardcore definitely going to try and exploit that. Hard right hands to the head of Danielle Heathcote. And now just sadistic stomps to the face from Wendy Hardcore. Wendy stretching Danielle's arm. Wendy Hardcore steps out. Here comes Nikki Judas Hardcore. Nikki moves in on Danielle. Misses with the stomp. Locks up. Counter kick from Danielle. Danielle rounds up Nikki Judas Hardcore. Tried for the chicken wing suplex, but countered into an arm drag by Nikki Judas Hardcore. Wow. Flip over neck whip from Nikki Judas Hardcore. Danielle rounded up to her feet again. She counters with elbows to Nikki Hardcore. Danielle locks her up. Cravat suplex on Nikki Hardcore. Danielle tags in Patty Powers. Powerhouse Patty moves in on Nikki Hardcore, charges. They lock up. Nikki Judas Hardcore whips her to the far corner. Drapes the leg over the rope, delivers a calf kick to Patty Powers. Nikki Judas Hardcore moves in again, knee to the midsection from Patty Powers. Patty whips Nikki to the opposing corner. Patty Powers again with elbows to the side of the head of Nikki Judas Hardcore. And what a title match main event we got going here. American Powers currently in control of the Angels of Anarchy. Patty Powers has her up, tags her with a fly swatter and a beauty too. Again, right back into that heel hook stretch. Patty Powers absolutely relentless against Nikki Judas Hardcore. Nikki really catching the punishment to the legs at the hands of Patty Powers. Brilliant strategy on the part of Patty Powers. Hauls Nikki Judas Hardcore halfway across the ring by her ankle. Here comes Liberty Bell, Danielle Heathcote. Here comes Wendy Hardcore on the tag. Fresh partners all the way around. They lock up. Wendy slams Danielle to the canvas. Wendy Hardcore countered by Liberty Bell, Danielle. Double shot to the midsection. Danielle locks up Wendy Hardcore. Belly to belly suplex. Right center ring. Danielle steps out. Here comes Patty Powers again. Very efficient tag work from American Powers. Patty rounds up Wendy Hardcore, flips her over. Reverse Dominator, slams her face down to the canvas, going for a cover here. 1, 2, but only a 2 count, just a near fall. Patty Powers thought she might have had it right there, but she's going to try and make sure with this next one. Stalking Wendy Hardcore. Wendy counters with a jawjacker, backs off Patty Powers, a slap across the face. Wendy Hardcore escorts Patty to her team's corner. Slams her into the turnbuckle face first. Look at this. From behind, gouging the face of Patty Powers. Hard right takes Patty down. Wendy Hardcore starting to get seriously aggressive here. Locks up Patty. Whips her to the corner. Patty Powers in trouble here. Wendy Hardcore using the ropes for leverage, yanking the arm of Powerhouse Patty. Now shoulders to the midsection. Wendy Hardcore with a blatant choke right in front of everybody, doesn't care. Again, the Women's World Tag Team titles on the line. A first ever opportunity for the Angels of Anarchy. Wendy Hardcore draws the knees in, drives it in twice. Very athletic on the part of Wendy Hardcore. Wendy tags in Nikki Judas, Patty Powers. With the wind knocked out of her from those double knees from Wendy, a hard right. Patty counters Nikki, goes behind a jawjacker from Nikki Judas Hardcore. A series of chops. A slap across the face. Patty Powers counters with a right. A shot to the midsection. Powerhouse Patty rounds up Nikki over the shoulder. Slams her right back down again. Like a sack of spuds. Here comes Liberty Bell, Danielle Heathcote again. Nikki Judas Hardcore is laid out. Danielle dragging Nikki Judas Hardcore close to center ring as she can get her. And now going to work on the legs too. Another possible stretching of the legs and knees for Nikki Judas Hardcore. Could lead to a submission later on. Danielle quickly covers, but wait a minute, changes her mind about it. Then changes her mind again. What? 1. Well, okay. Not sure what that was about. But Danielle rounds up Nikki Judas Hardcore. Nikki whipped to the AP corner, puts on the brakes, turns it around, and takes down Liberty Bell Danielle. Nikki Judas Hardcore rebounds off the ropes. And whoa, tried for the moonsault, but caught a couple of knees from Danielle. Liberty Bell Danielle rounds her up. Another cravat suplex for Nikki Judas Hardcore. Here comes Patty Powers on the tag. Nikki Judas Hardcore is reeling. And here comes Powerhouse Patty, beating her feet on the Mississippi mud at the expense of Nikki Judas Hardcore. Nikki back up on her feet again. Patty rounds her up. Drives the knee into the back and starts stretching those lower vertebrae. You can hear them cracking in the front row. There's a stomp to the arm, a stomp to the midsection. Patty Powers moves in, rear chin lock. Wendy Hardcore making the save with a drop kick. Patty rounds Nikki up again. A hard right. Nikki counters, kick to the midsection, locks up Patty Powers. Sets her up. Chicken wing suplex from Nikki Judas Hardcore. And here comes Wendy Hardcore again. Patty Powers back up on her feet, charges. Clothesline takes down Wendy Hardcore. Patty goes behind. Sets it up. Has Wendy, slams her right back down and quickly going for a cover. One. Man, both these teams not fooling around here. We're well over the halfway mark and neither one's coming up a winner so far. Wendy whips Patty over the top rope and out onto the floor. Man, Wendy Hardcore rallying the fans. What fans she got? Probably both of them. Patty Powers catching some serious shots from Wendy Hardcore on the outside. Crucifix slams her down. Follows it up with a stomp. Wendy Hardcore gouging the face of Patty Powers, disregarding the referee's count. Patty Powers slowly making her way back to her feet here. Look at this. Powerhouse Patty takes down Wendy Hardcore, frees herself from the hold, locks up Wendy Hardcore, pitches her towards the timekeeper's area. Oh, she is fighting mad. Patty Powers still on the outside. Wendy Hardcore daring her to come back in and start it up again. Patty going after Heather Hardcore. What the hell is this? Slams down Heather Hardcore. Wendy coming to the aid of her sister here. Patty's got her up. Oklahoma slam. Wendy Hardcore pitches Patty halfway across by her hair. Retaliating for the attack on Heather Hardcore. Punches to the skull of Powerhouse Patty. This one's gotten way out of control at this point. Patty driven into the ring steps by Wendy Hardcore. Wendy comes back in. Taking a moment apparently to confer with Nikki Judas Hardcore. Patty Powers is laid out. Heather Hardcore is laid out. And what in the hell's going on here? Wendy Hardcore back on the outside again. Referee restarts the count. Patty Powers is still laid out. So is Heather Hardcore. Patty just getting to her feet. Ditto Heather Hardcore. Patty opens up with a series of shots on Wendy. Locks up Wendy Hardcore. Wendy counters with hard shots to the gut. Slams Patty Powers face down into the mat. The referee counting. Patty Powers momentarily stunned. Wendy makes her way back inside the ring first. Heather Hardcore rolls her into the ring steps. Well, now Heather Hardcore needs to be gotten the hell out of here. Again, Patty Powers laid out on the outside. On the wrong side of town. Wendy Hardcore rounds Patty up. Patty Powers driven into the barricade by Wendy. A series of hard rights takes her down again, and this has just gotten out completely out of control at this point. A leg snap from Wendy Hardcore. Heather Hardcore just itching to get involved here. Patty counters. Drives Wendy towards the ring steps, but doesn't get it. Heather Hardcore shoved away by Patty Powers. Wendy makes her way back into the ring as if nothing happened. How about this right here? Well, oh man, Patty Powers going after Heather Hardcore again. Slams her down. Wendy moves in, delivers a right. Patty Powers counters with a knee. Got Wendy Hardcore up. Couple of rib breakers. And then pitched away to the side. Man, Patty Powers just going all Incredible Hulk on the Angels of Anarchy. 2 out of 3 laid out by Patty. Nikki Judas Hardcore being admonished by the referee to stay out of it. Patty tags her with the right. Look at this. All 3 of them slammed into the apron by Patty, who goes after Heather Hardcore yet again. Get shut up. Sidewalk slam for Heather Hardcore, and she ain't even in the match. Wendy Hardcore going to have to come to the rescue again. Powerhouse Patty rounds up Heather Hardcore, has her up in the military press. Nikki Judas Hardcore laid out. There we go. Wendy Hardcore grabs a couple of knees into the back of Patty Powers. And 2 out of 3 of the Hardcore sisters in big time trouble at the hands of Powerhouse Patty, but she's on the wrong side of town. Patty counters, locks up Wendy Hardcore, has her up, drives a knee into the back. Heather Hardcore debating whether or not she's going to get involved again. Patty rounds her up. Whoa! Gut wrench slam from Powerhouse Patty. Again, Heather Hardcore catching a shot from Patty. Patty Powers goes behind on Heather Hardcore. Has her up. Oh man, slams her down. Unbelievable. The Angels of Anarchy was laid out here at the hands of Patty Powers, who's gone totally She-Hulk. Nikki Judas Hardcore counters with a right to the head. Brings herself in anyway. Hard shot to the midsection. Wendy Hardcore still being countered by the referee. She's the legal woman in the match. Nikki Judas Hardcore goes behind on Patty. Patty Powers catches a hip toss from Nikki Judas Hardcore, who bounces right back outside to her corner. Wendy Hardcore all the way up on the top. Beautifully done. And here's a cover. 1, 2. Oh, what a match, you guys. Insane. Patty refusing to give up here. Escorted to the Angels of Anarchy's corner, head first into the turnbuckle. Here's Nikki Judas Hardcore on the tag. Here's a double team. A football kick right to the head of Patty Powers from Nikki Judas Hardcore. Ably assisted by Wendy. Hip toss from Nikki Judas Hardcore. Patty Powers laid out and in big time trouble here. Kick to the midsection from Nikki. Here's a victory roll. Patty Powers laid out. Here's a cover from Nikki. 1, 2. Danielle right there to break it up. Wendy Hardcore locks it up with Danielle. Patty Powers with a dragon screw on Nikki Judas Hardcore. There's a splash from Patty. Wendy rounds up Danielle on the outside. Patty Powers misses with the splash. Nikki with a kick to the midsection. There's a clothesline from Nikki Judas Hardcore. Wendy Hardcore working on Danielle Heathcote on the outside. Nikki Judas Hardcore stalking Patty Powers. Rounds her up to her feet. DDT right on the top of the head. Wendy Hardcore slams down Danielle. Nikki Judas Hardcore on the inside, waiting for Patty to stand herself up. There's a beautiful crossbody, and here's a cover. 1, 2, 3. Shut up! New Women's World Tag Team Champions, the AOA.
The time, 18 minutes and 40 seconds. Your winners by pinfall and the new RWL Women's World Tag Team Champions, Wendy and Nikki Judas Hardcore, the Angels of Anarchy.
I just don't believe it, you guys. Not only do the Angels put American Powers through a long and sustained battle, but leave it to Nikki Judas Hardcore to pull off the 3-count pinfall off the high-risk move on Patty Powers, while Wendy kept Danielle distracted, preventing her from making the save. Much as I hate to give them credit for anything, the Angels of Anarchy certainly played this one beautifully. And they're the new Women's World Tag Champs, whether the fans like it or not, and trust me, they freaking hate it.
All right, well, Patty Powers extending the friendly handshake here to Nikki Judas Hardcore. Whoa! Nikki slapping the hand away and walking on out. Why you got to be so rude? Oh, that's going to set the tone. That ain't good.
It's been as wild a night on Snarl as I can remember, but that does it for this week. Fans, thanks as always for your support of our WL Wrestling. It means the world to us that you enjoy our content. Be sure to hit the all notification bell, cause up next, it's gonna be our WL Rage with Don Hickson, Christy Ogilvie, and Myron Schimmelman. And that's gonna be a great card. For all of us here at our WL, Wally Cardinal saying thanks, good night, and be safe.